don't know what I'm doing today. This is fun. Is it fun? I don't know. There's a plane. Yay. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to be talking about everything you need to know about wedding receptions. So if you haven't booked your wedding reception yet, then this is the video you need to watch. Yeah, so let's get into it. I think the first thing you guys are probably wondering is, how do venues charge you? How much do you pay for a venue? Venues can charge you a whole lot of different ways, but the most common way that they do is actually charge you per person. And usually that will incorporate either a 2-course meal or a 3-course meal or something else if you're a little bit extra. They're usually sit-down menus, so your guests will come to the reception and sit down and have their meals served to them. Another way you can do it is like a cocktail menu. So what that is everybody's standing, no one has assigned seats, and wait staff that are coming in with trays of small tiny food that gets distributed around your guests. Another way is through buffet service. So buffets are pretty self-explanatory, and for obvious reasons that's also a little bit more affordable because the chefs are only making one dish and it's just putting it straight on a table and everyone else can serve themselves. So there's no need to plate things up, and that everything just stays in one spot and there's less work for them. So that's why it's usually a more affordable option if you were that way inclined. Another way that they charge is by paying a venue hire fee. So it's just a lump sum that covers literally everything that they have at the venue. So that could be the venue itself, but it could also incorporate styling items, crockery, napkins, glassware, tablecloths, all that kind of stuff. Sometimes it even includes accommodation. If there's accommodation on the venue site, then sometimes that actually covers that as well. But it's literally a lump sum. Pretty simple. Usually those are also DIY weddings as well, because then you have to bring in your own food and stuff like that. But every venue is different. So depending on your venue, just inquire with them and they will let you know. But one thing you guys really need to pay attention to with your wedding venue is to actually read the contracts really, really thoroughly. So a lot of my clients, if they haven't booked me before the venue, they get a little bit caught with these things called hidden fees. Now I know that sounds scary and that everyone's always worried about hidden fees, but they're not hidden as in obscured from you. It's just that you guys don't know, or you are unaware that these are things you need to be looking for. It's not like they're not there in black and white in the contract, it's just that you might not necessarily know that that's something you need to be looking into. For example, some venues charge you a cake cutting fee, which means that I assume the chefs or the wait staff are cutting your cake and serving them on small plates, which are then served to your guests. They charge for that for obvious reasons. They did that work, that's fine. But they really stack up when it comes to your budget. So if a venue is charging you $5 to cut the cake, times it by 100 people, you've got $500 you've just lost. So something to think about. Yeah, maybe think about that. Other things is really discussing and doing your research on whether the additions that venues are going to give you outweigh you trying to find them yourself. So if they give you a $500 voucher for the cake for their cake preferred supplier, is their cake preferred supplier 1, in your style, 2, yummy, I guess, to your taste buds, and 3, are they going to be any more affordable than if you were to go elsewhere and try and find somebody else who, I don't know, who you like, who you prefer, kind of thing. So even though you've got $500 off your cake artist from your venue, they might still charge you $1,500 for your cake, right? So therefore $1,000. But then you can go to another vendor somewhere else and get quoted $700 for that cake. You're still going to pay less than if you went with the venue preferred supplier. So again, something to think about, something to discuss, and something to look out for when you are looking at your contracts. Another thing to know is that most receptions will only go for 5 hours. So if you start at 5, you finish at 10. If you start at 6, you'll finish at 11. Not a lot of venues stay past 12 at all, and that's usually because, well, not really past 11, because 11 to 12 is when your vendors will come in and pack up so that, the venue has a functioning venue for the next day with whatever function they might have. But yeah, nothing goes past 12, which might put a little bit damper. If that's something that's important to you, like if you want a good time with you and your partner, you want to stay out and party and dance and stuff, then maybe that's something you should be looking for in your venue, somewhere that has extended opening hours or something like that. Another thing is making sure your vendors get fed. So your photographer is usually there till the end of the wedding, your wedding planner, your videographer, your musicians, your MC, all those people need a meal, right? Because it's dinner time, they need to eat. Usually they've been there the whole day. So those are costs that you probably need to be thinking about as well. They are cheaper than your usual per guest cost, but it is something to be thinking about and to keep in the back of your mind if you're trying to be budget friendly. Most venues will give you an event coordinator or a venue coordinator, or I'm trying to think of other names that you can call them, your wedding coordinator, all this kind of stuff. They're all just like coordinators or assistants or managers from the venue. They are not the same as what on the day coordinators do. I mean, that's for like another video, like a whole nother video. But to break it down really simply for you guys right now, the on-the-day coordinator that you hire externally is working for you and having your interests at heart, whereas the venue coordinator would be pretty much looking out for the venue. So if you have a problem with the venue, you talk to your venue coordinator. If you have a problem with your wedding, you talk to your wedding coordinator, who is externally hired and not your venue one. Probably the best I can do for right now, otherwise we're going to be here for another 10 minutes and nobody got time for that. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys learned something about wedding venues. If you have any more questions about wedding venues, I'm more than happy to answer them. Just leave them in the comments below. Other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.